Hello, welcome to the show floor, ITC Apex 2025. I'm Eric Miskell with EMS Now. Joining me in the lovely Creative Electron booth, I always give them a shout out, are some gentlemen from Libra Industries. Libra Industries, of course, is a American-based EMS company, which we're going to learn more about as we go. On my far right, of course, is Andrew, the CEO, and next to me in the middle here is Bob, the COO for about the last year. Start with give an overview of Libra for us.
Sure.
Please.
Thank you for having us first.
Absolutely.
And we're looking forward to the ice cream you have for us after we wrap up here. But Libra Industries, we're actually an Ohio-based company. We've been around for 85 years, doing a lot of different activities. We have capabilities in machining, precision machining, high-end integration of systems, clean room assembly, your typical traditional electronics manufacturing. We also do some metal fabrication, powder coat, and system integration. We have facilities in Dayton, Ohio, which is where I'm based. That's the corporate headquarters. We have a facility in Dallas, Texas, which is what we're going to talk about here a little bit, and also a facility in Guaymas, Mexico, which is about an hour and a half south of Hermosillo, right? Focusing primarily on high reliability, highly challenging markets like semi-cap, defense, aerospace, medical. So those are the markets we really play in.
Okay, good, thank you. And Bob, Texas, my home state too, so that's great. You joined in the past year, and you also have experience on the other side, on the OEM side as well, if I remember correctly. Right?
I've had 30 years experience in various manufacturing operations, engineering type roles, various industries, automotive, industrial, but this is my first role in the EMS side of the world.
Oh, wow. Well, welcome to the dark side.
Welcome to the dark side, yeah, right.
Now, that was if I remember correctly, Dallas was an acquired one, right?
It was, and it actually goes back to Libra, who was, we're owned by Capital Works Industrial.
Right.
We're a private equity company. The first purchase was Gem City Engineering in Dayton, and then Libra Industries joined the portfolio. Libra, who was based in Monroe, Ohio, bought ACD, which was the factory there in Dallas. So the operations we're in today, it actually goes back further than that. At one point, Sanmina owned it, and then it's handed off over the years. But yeah, that's the facility we acquired.
You know, it's a small world because I know the ACD facility because I used to run a quick turn prototype shop.
Right down the shop, right
just
down the
around.
street.
We were called Texas Prototypes. It's a spinoff out of Flex, and so I knew anyway, taking me down memory road here. How's that facility? Explain kind of what we have in Dallas there.
Yeah, so we recently had a consolidation. We had, as we said, a site in Cleveland as well as a site in Dallas. Both did PCBAA. We've moved it all into our Dallas facility and created a center of excellence.
Okay.
So we brought some of the capabilities down from Cleveland. We put a new SMT line in altogether, enhanced a lot of the other capabilities there in our selective solder and through hole and testing capabilities as well. So to have a complete center of excellence for electronics.
Okay. And then you, as you were saying before, are traveling a lot. Get as COO, that's what you get to do, right? So, tell me about the Mexico and how that fits in the solution too.
Yeah, so as Andrew said, in Mexico we have a variety of processes down there that we provide, from machining, stamping, powder coating, systems integration. So we have a lot there that we do for what we call systems and framework as well.
Yeah,
fabrication.
we actually invested in, we're in 25, all the way through Q1 already, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But in 23, we made a big investment in Guaymas. We doubled the size of the facility, so we went from about 65,000 square feet to we have about 130 now. We made a big investment in retooling our metal fabrication, brought in some state-of-the-art Armada laser turret machines, and brought in some additional presses. And then, as Bob mentioned, it was our first stint in powder coating. So we had installed a dedicated powder coating facility, which is actually, it supports a lot of our customers today, racks and frames and cabinets and things of that nature, but it's attracting its own set of businesses now as well, just having that powder coating capability. So we find it's in Guaymas, which is, if you're going to be traveling, it's a great place to be, right on the the beach there.
Oh, is it?
It is, right?
I've been to Hermosillo, but not quite.
Yeah, it's, what's the
San Carlos.
San Carlos, yeah.
West Coast.
Voted the most beautiful sunsets in the world every year. So if
Oh,
you're going to be
wow.
an EMS, that's a great place to be.
Oh my God.
So our customers love to visit, especially during the winter months in the U.S. We have a lot of activity, right?
Yeah.
But it's a great factory, great team there. They're doing a wonderful job. We've doubled the size of that facility from a revenue standpoint also in the last 4 years, and have a great growth plan going forward as well.
Are there any other EMS? I knew there were some up in Hermosillo, which was us, but is there a lot of competition from a labor base?
Well, we're in a business park, so we operate under a shelter agreement there. We're the only traditional contract manufacturer, manufacturing services provider in the park proper. That area is kind of interesting for Mexico. It's all aerospace, medical type products. You don't find any of the gaming products or mobility products or anything like that. They have 3 or 4 technical institutions within, a 30-minute drive. So there's a lot of very educated, highly trained labor there that we're leveraging.
Okay, excellent. Now that you have Mexico is interesting because we're living in interesting times right now.
Yes, we are.
Right?
Yeah.
So, speak to the challenges that an EMS faces in the current environment.
Well, I mean, when you say current, it's very current, right? So with the spin up of the discussions, I guess is how I'll frame it, around tariffs, we had to spin up with that, right? And try to get out in front and understand what the impact was going to be to our customers and how we could mitigate that as much as possible. But the uncertainty right now, you wake up one day and it's, you got a tariff on a certain product at a certain rate, and you wake up that afternoon and it's doubled, and by nighttime it's gone away. It's just creating a lot of non-value add activity right now, but we have to do it, right? Yeah. It's just part of business. So we're trying to keep the Guaymas team focused on supporting our customers, manufacturing high quality product, and we're trying to deal with as much of the tariff understanding, collections at a corporate level as we can.
Yeah, just to echo Andrew's point, I think you said as far as challenges, right? It's just managing a very rapidly evolving customer expectations in the manufacturing landscape, right? So every day we're working through supply chain dynamics and emerging technologies and evolving customer expectations, and that's where the agility of a company like Libra can add value and be able to react to those things real time.
Yeah, and that's interesting because I always thought that EMS have to be the experts at that, managing complexity, right? Because it's coming from every customer is different.
Every customer is different. They all have the same expectations: free, fast, and perfect, right? That's the main expectations, but they all operate differently, right? And we have to have processes that allow us to maintain control, but still be adaptable enough to engage with our customers. And quite honestly, some of our customers make us better, right? So the areas we're playing in, when you think about semi-cap and you think about defense, those are very highly controlled industries. They have typically very robust and mature processes, and we try to leverage, if we're going to have to do it for a customer, if it makes sense, we leverage that through the rest of the organization as well.
No, that's excuse me. So we're in a bit of turmoil. I call it just transition.
Right.
We'll see, hopefully. And I'm hearing a lot here at the show, I know what you're hearing, that people are thinking, give it a few months. Seems to be the tagline, right? Give a few months, let's see how things settle down, right? Because industry business, wants predictability and kind of stability, right, in order to operate.
That's right.
How do you make investments, right, within this environment? What's your view of it playing out in 2025?
We think it's going to be similar, hoping that it comes back to a more normal, operating environment, right? But you never know, right? We were fortunate in 24 to secure some very significant awards that grew our business. So regardless of what happens this year from kind of a macro standpoint, we're in the middle of finalizing a lot of launches, and we've got a lot of new revenue coming into the company that's going to sustain us this year. And then when we get towards the mid of the year and later in the Q3, we'll try to figure out what's going to happen in 26, right?
Yeah. So Bob, as a COO in charge of operations, other than what we've talked about, what kind of drives you crazy, keeps you up at night still?
I would say, from an operational standpoint, it's kind of balancing the operational efficiencies with innovation, right?
Yeah.
So it's, how do we continually, perform from a workforce development, continuous improvement, productivity gain area, but also balance in new technologies, a new way of doing things, and still be agile to meet our customers' expectations.
Which is one of the reasons we're here, right? The technology, right? We have a budget each year that we spend from a capex standpoint, and we try to invest that wisely. It's not unlimited, so we've spent a lot of time here the last couple of days looking at some of the new technologies, especially in automation. We're trying to look closer there, even though we're in Mexico and it's a more favorable labor environment. Anything we could do to automate it takes cost out, and it improves quality as well. It's a lot on the repetitive type task, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I spoke to a CEO of a very large Chinese EMS this past year, and he said too. He said,
Same thing.
Automate everything.
Right.
He says, and anything that's repetitive, automate it.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then he told his people if I want a 5-year ROI on it, and he said we got it in 3.
Yep.
So it does pay for itself. It is a great equalizer, isn't it?
It is. It certainly is.
Listen, there's something else about Libra that I liked, and being a big proponent or supporter of the PCBAA, I noticed that you guys joined.
We did. Yeah.
Speak about that and why you did that.
So I'm a personal friend of John Vaughn, who's at Summit. John and I have known each other for many years, and he reached out to me and gave me a little insight into PCBAA and kind of what their mission is. And, it plays directly into what we're trying to do in Dallas, right? With our operation there almost exclusively focused on defense type business, right? We're having to leverage that U.S. supply chain of PCBs, right? Yeah. So when I started talking to John about, they initially set the association up to focus just on PCBs. Then it went backwards into the material side of it, and now they're moving forward into the EMS side. We just thought it was something we wanted to be a part of, right? There's opportunities for us to network and understand what's happening that are going to affect us from a business standpoint. We're going to try to be active in some of the discussions that go on in Washington and advocate for the PCB industry and for ourselves. So very happy to be aligned with those guys.
Yeah, no, I think that I got connected with them a couple years back, and I always appreciate the updates from them. And I see the growth of the membership, and that more EMS are joining now or choosing to, I think is a positive trend.
Yeah, and I would encourage, I'm trying to help with some of my network. I'm sure you are as well, but I would encourage any EMS companies that are out there that have got operations in the U.S., and particularly ones that are sourcing PCBs in the U.S., reach out to those guys, because there's a lot of knowledge base there, and we need to support them. We need them. If you don't have a PCB, you don't have a PCBA, right?
Exactly
so we need that healthy supply chain. So reach out to them if you can.
Because chips don't float. As
they don't
say.
Float. Right. You don't want them floating for sure, right?
Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate the time. Hopefully, now that I know you're there and with ACD, maybe get an invite and come over. So
anytime.
Yeah,
you're welcome at any point.
I would love to do that.
Bring the ice cream as well.
Oh, really? Oh, God, him and the ice cream.
Ice cream's my thing, if you can't tell.
Okay, wow, good. Well, listen, enjoyed this. Let's keep in touch. And I'll certainly take advantage and reach out and come visit over there.
Perfect. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.